everybody's life doesn't come to a conclusion, but it comes to a, but through them all meeting one another, it changes their life, and they will go on and now have maybe a happier existence, a more fulfilled existence than the pain of what they've gone through in the past. And I think that's so it is. So it's got a romantic aspect in the sense that everybody finds somebody that is through the Matt Damon's character, the George character. He's going to find some sort of relationship in life and some sort of closure as far as the unhappy situation they had been in. Well, Matt is terrific because he's very unactorish. You know, he doesn't. You don't catch him acting. He's very very natural, and very subtle and great as an actor. But you don't catch him performing or hamming it up, so to speak. Well, sometimes I'll have him do things, and I'll have him. Sometimes because I'm seeing the picture put together as we're doing it. I'll have him do secrets to keep the tempo the same, or you know, so it matches up. When sometimes you do a scene, and then if you're doing, and an hour later you're still doing it from a different direction. You have to make sure that everything is. Tempo stays the same, or we discuss different aspects of the script and come to an agreement on that as to how that is supposed to be, but you don't act for them. You try to make an atmosphere that is relaxed enough that they can be very comfortable and do their best work. Well, I chose Cecile. She did an audition tape. It was very good. I thought her look was great too. I wanted a certain look, and she had it. You know, she just. It was a kind of a fresh look as a person who you could believe would be an anchor woman for French 2 or television, and at the same token could go through all this event. So she had that. She's just a wonderful actress, and. There were a lot. We looked at a lot of very fine actors to play those roles, but that's just the way I saw the picture, at least in this particular form. Well, I wanted to avoid having kids in the film that would be kid actor types. Which would be a lot of animated, shallow gestures. These kids are sort of introverted kids that had come from a working class background in Rome. In London, and I don't know where I am now. Anyway, it could have been Rome, but London, and they are. And you needed to get through all that to get them to perform, because they weren't professional performers. So, but you just get an understanding with them, and you get to talk with them, try to get them into the principles of acting, which mainly are listening and then reacting to what you're digesting what you hear. And sometimes it works, and sometimes you'd say other things in order to get them to react, to change the thing, because I don't know how much they interpret the script. They sit down and read it intellectually. They probably just realize they had to do certain things, and if you're not careful, they could do it mechanically, or they'll take on an adult's interpretation of what it's supposed to be. But kids, because they're spectacular actors to begin with, if they're allowed to be, then you can get the best out of them. I felt that that was one of the interesting things in the script, is that they did delve into the charlatans and the people who make a living by BSing everybody that they see in the afterlife and stuff like that. A lot of people believe in that, and that's fine if they do. But there's still, you wanted to have that in order to have the comparison between the real guy who could see into the hereafter and the fake people who could see hereafter. So in order to make that comparison, we have the Matt Damon character of George, and then we have the charlatans, of which we have shown also. Well, I learned something making every movie. I think that's the fun part of it, because you're dealing with different actors, and you're dealing with different subject matters and stuff like that. I've never done a tsunami before. I've never done the subways before. I've never. There's a lot of things that you haven't done, and you do them in each time out. So you learn a lot of things. But I think you're learning every day anyway in life. When you meet different people, you're learning new things about other people. And you go different places, you go down a street you've never been, you've learned something about it. That's what keeps life going, keeps one outlook younger. At one time, there was this was after Sean Connery was leaving the show. They had they approached me and asked if I would like to play James Bond. I said, well, though I have English descent in my background, I don't have the characteristics of an English. I have to go and work very hard at it. I think they'd do much better having another English person. So, and besides, I'd already done 3 of the dollar pictures, Good, Bad, and Ugly, and all of that. So I was off on a different direction. But it was a good offer with a lot of, it could have been a nice financial thing, but then I would have been trapping myself into another series of pictures, and I didn't want to do that.